it's getting to the point where if they put out anything that the government don't necessarily want them to, that the government are trying to change the Official Secrets Act to get them jailed. So
Yeah, it's. I mean, we're
our
sort of.
press freedom's always been shit without that. I mean, they didn't even need to do that, really.
Yeah, yeah. That's the mystery of it, isn't it? Is it's like we have the most compliant media, I think, in the world. I mean, I'm sure somebody in the comment section will correct me on that, and there's some far from
North Korea.
yeah, yeah, right, exactly. But it feels like
China.
we. Thanks.
Sorry. I'm stitching you up.
Immediately pissing on my chips. Yeah, thanks for that.
Sorry.
I can be held to account. It's fine. But it does feel like we've got very compliant media, and there's a definite case to be made that why do you need to threaten people with 14-year prison sentences when in case they embarrass you, when just look around, man. Like, it doesn't feel like you're under any immediate threat of being held to account or being embarrassed.
Well, it's to crack down on whistleblowers, isn't it? Essentially, like the kind of people that unleashed what happened with old Hancock. I could call him Wanksock.
Yeah.
Hancock. It's that kind of thing. I think it's trying to avoid that level of leakage.
It's so weird and shady, though, isn't it? Like, if you think back to that whole that week or 2 weeks of scandal.
I try not to think about the vision of it because it's so.
We've all tried to block it out of our minds, haven't we? But from a political scandal and media perspective, it just doesn't quite add up to me. Like the idea that we are now rewriting a law to punish whistleblowers / journalists for embarrassing the government because they were so incensed about the Hancock revelations. When the Hancock revelations were published by the political editor of The Sun, and the political editor of The Sun is like Bezzy buds with Boris's wife. So to me, it makes more sense that Boris and his wife needed to get rid of Hancock to reopen everything, to achieve that goal. They effectively greenlit this scandal. So there's something else there. There's some other thing that they're worried about, or something that, I don't know, like it feels like they're trying to fix a different problem, and actually we're all looking at the dead cat, which is Hancock getting his end away. And there's something else on the periphery, is how it feels to me,
No, I agree. So I definitely think it was a setup, because obviously Johnson's wife likes Javid, and Javid took an immediately more kind of firm, hard line than Hancock with the restrictions. It's funny how that happened. So maybe they're using the suggestion that someone else set up Hancock as a way to push through more punitive measures for journalists.
Yeah.
It could be a multifaceted kind of plan in that sense.
Yeah.
So they set up Hancock, made it look like it was an outsider, and then because they obviously want more control over the media, because it's the kind of Trumpian playbook bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah.
That they then say, well, to stop people doing this again, we're going to have to do this. So it's kind of like justifying their future kind of quite authoritarian measures, perhaps.
Yeah.
It's a theory. I don't know.
No. Maybe.
But I don't think that doesn't add up.
No, that makes sense.
You seem uncertain. You're like...
No, I was just thinking, like, I'd completely forgotten that Carrie was, like, not BFFs, but, like, good friends with Sajid. I'm calling them all, like, by their first name, as though I fucking know them. I don't.
Yeah, but I try to avoid calling Johnson Boris. I'll call him anything but Boris.
Yeah, I've noticed that, sometimes quite creatively.
Well, yeah, but I've stopped calling him Fred West because, as I say, Fred West was good at his job. He killed fewer people.
Yeah.
And we know how many kids he had. So there's no point.